Hey everybody, today's video is how to pray the Rosary easy. Sometimes you forget your beads. How are you going to pray it? Is there an easy way? Yes, there is. And this is how to do it. You have a left hand that's the decades hand and a right hand that's the counting hand. On the left decades hand, this is the beginning position and the place for the first decade. This is the second decade position, the third decade position, the fourth decade, and the fifth decade. And now, just as easy as can be, you've learned the left decades hand, and we'll review it in just a second. And now, the right counting hand, also just as easy as can be. You do the Apostles' Creed right there, the Our Father. And now all the Our Fathers are done in the exact same place. And it's also where all the mysteries are done, so that's super easy too. And then you do the three Hail Marys, 1, 2, 3, the Glory Be, the Oh My Jesus. And now we'll be starting the first decade. This hand is good to go, because you keep this position both for the beginning part and for the first decade. So we just keep this as it is. And we move the thumb to here for the first mystery and for the Our Father. And then we do 10 Hail Marys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Glory Be and Oh My Jesus. And now we'll be starting the second decade. So on the left decade's hand, we just put the thumb right there for the second decade. And we move this at the same time that the right thumb arrives to here. So they arrive at the same time. And we're doing this, and this is where we do the second mystery and the Our Father. And now we just do the 10 Hail Marys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Glory Be, the Oh My Jesus. And if we forget what we're doing next, we just simply look at this decade's hand. We can see that we just finished the second decade. So we know that we're doing the third decade now. So we just switch it to there for the third decade. We do the third mystery, the Our Father, and then 10 Hail Marys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Glory Be and the Oh My Jesus. And man, if it seems like it's a lot of work to hold the hands up like that, what's easy about that, you ask? Well, I'm just holding the hands up so you can see where the positions are, but normally you can have them comfortably and easily just resting in any position that's comfortable for you. So that's another way that it's easy. So I'm at this position. I just spoke a little bit, and I'm trying to remember what decade we're on. So I just look at that. That's all I do. I see that we've just finished the third one, and therefore we're going to do the fourth. So I switch to the fourth decade position, and we're still on track, just as easy as can be. This left thumb arrives at the same time that on the right counting hand, the right thumb moves to the fourth mystery position. And then we do the Our Father, and then the 10 Hail Marys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Glory Be, the Oh My Jesus. And now we do the fifth decade, returning to as it was in the beginning, the exact same place. And so on the counting hand, the thumb moves to the place for the fifth mystery, and then the Our Father, and then the 10 Hail Marys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Glory Be, the Oh My Jesus. And this position just stays like that through all the rest of it. So now we do Hail Holy Queen. You can either do it here or here. I like to treat it almost as if it has like a separate medallion that you can pray on by praying in this place. So we do the Hail Holy Queen, and then the concluding prayer, Eternal Father, whose only begotten Son, by his life, death, and resurrection. You know, that entire prayer is done right there. And that concludes it easily. You'll notice that the plane of this joint crease and the plane of this thumb, it's almost reminiscent of a cross, the way the two meet. You don't want to force it around to make it more squared up, but you just keep it comfortably right there, because we're doing it the easy way, right? So you do that, and then the other thing that's cool about this is when you consider the 10 Hail Marys, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh one, when you think of 7, it's the number of completion. The earth was, the 7 days of creation, and so it's really cool that the concluding place of the entire Rosary, the beginning place of the entire Rosary, and the 7th Hail Mary are all done in the same place. And so that's pretty much it. Now this method, though, another thing that makes it a really cool and easy way to practice is that an easy way to pray the Rosary is that as you pray the Rosary, you simply don't lean. And it allows you to practice this method of where 2 or more are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Of course, that commonly refers to where 2 or more believers are gathered, then the presence of God will be in the midst of them. But it's also possible to use the frame of the human body in worship, to use the frame of the human body to establish the equivalent of an old-fashioned scale or a yoke or a mystical Christian cross. And you know the vertical plane of the cross? As you gather these points, simply don't lean and simply abide in this place. And it's the place that's not low here or low there, but within. Sometimes you'll read it in the Bible if you consider it from a mystical way. When the word me is used, I know it could mean like a egotistical type of me or something, but I like to think of it as the place of the indwelling presence of God within. It's not here, it's not low here, low there, but it is within. And actually, when you practice in this way, when you think about it, you're abiding in the place between left and right. And how straight and how narrow is that place between left and right, between opposites? It's just as straight and as narrow as can be. And it's also the place that does not miss the mark. Because and it's also the place that, I'll just say that when you practice in this way without leaning, the world around you is always presenting itself to you in ever new ways, and each new presentation is an invitation to either choose and hold to this one good thing, or to go outward into the world toiling and spinning. And so the devotional practice is that no matter what the invitation to go outward, toiling and spinning, I'm going to choose and hold to the one good thing. And if you use the frame of the human body in this way, as you pray the rosary on both hands, you're able to abide in the place between opposites. And this is so similar to the story of Martha and Mary. Remember, Jesus just simply was there. He just simply showed up. And Mary just simply was right there with him, right? But Martha, she was outward toiling and spinning. She loved Jesus, but she perceived that before she could actually go to where Jesus was, she had to toil and spin and do all these little sub-projects and jump through all these little hoops, getting dinner ready, making sure the place is clean and everything. And that's true, but then Martha said, "Man, Jesus, will you tell Mary to come help me? Because here I am just laboring away, working so hard to get things ready for us. And she's just sitting there." And Jesus said, "Mary has chosen the one good thing." And so similarly, the easy way to practice the rosary, even without rosary beads, is to use the human body to establish the equivalent of an old-fashioned scale or a mystical cross or a yoke. You remember that verse, "My yoke is easy, my burden is light." When I hear that, I think of the yoke of my yoke is easy, my burden is light. And when those words go through your mind, and don't point to me, I point to the place of the heart, because of your own heart, because where your heart is, there will your treasure be also. And it's like a treasure hidden in a field, and all the world with all its appearances always presenting itself in all kinds of new ways. You simply sell all that you have, which means, which in Martha's example, it would be that she would sell the need to do all that external stuff, forsake it, and simply turn. Sell all that you have, and that's the pearl of great price. It's the place that the place of devotion. So basically, you're worshiping God using the frame of the human body as you pray the rosary. And man, this is the coolest thing. Even with the variety of changes from finger to finger to finger, all these apparent external differences, you're practicing that no matter what the external variety of even the hand positions of the rosary, there is a changeless place in the midst of them that doesn't miss the mark. And you have a place while you're praying the rosary to answer the question, "Lovest thou me more than these?" And because the very instant, when you pray without leaning, the very instant that you start to lean, you know exactly that moment, and you know exactly how to bring it back. And that is spot on devotion made possible by this easy Christian yoke or scale or mystical cross. So the vertical axis of the cross, for this example, you could say it's the place, this very straight and very narrow place between opposites, between right and left. And similarly, the place between too high and too low, that's like the horizontal axis of the cross. And so it's a pretty cool way to practice. I'm not sure how orthodox it is, because mystical things aren't always talked about or written about, but it's just how I practice. And hopefully this easy way of praying the Rosary will help you. Or someone that you know that wants to pray, but is just afraid to pull out the beads because they might be seen as being a slacker or not paying attention. You know, you can't always satisfy the world and their expectations, especially when you pull out the rosary beads and they don't know what you're doing. But if you don't pull out the beads, then there's nothing to hide, and you can practice easily, anytime, any place that's safe and that makes sense. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.